Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Once again, we begin with Exact Track 4D radar to start the newscast. All of southeast Michigan under a severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock tonight.
And now let's take a live look outside from our Southfield Skycam. We've had a hot start to the weekend.
Sure have. We've seen storms on and off all week. Today is no different. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill, and from the looks of it, the newest round has arrived. Let's get over to forewarned meteorologist Ron Hilliard. And Ron, you've got a brand new warning.
Kimberly and Ty, you are correct. Just issued about a minute ago, we have a warning that extends into southern Genesee County, including Fenton, but also now stretching into northern Oakland County. This warning going until 6 o'clock. It includes communities such as Fenton, as I mentioned, Holly, Groveland Township, Ortonville, and also extending into Auburn Hills. You will see this storm system tracking to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So again, this storm right here has the potential of straight line winds up to 60 miles per hour. That's something we've been talking about with this entire line. It has the potential of some gusts that are up to about 60 to even 70 miles per hour. And we are again watching this portion of the line right now in Oakland County for the potential of wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Now, we do have the potential, because this is slowly moving, it is bringing some intense rainfall up, some localized flooding as well. As I track this on out, you'll see that as we mark it at 40 miles per hour to the east, it's going to be impacting us in Ortonville. At about 5:15, Oxford, closer to about 5:30, Lake Orion, about the same time. Again, this is moving to the east at around 30 to 40 miles per hour overall, this line. So other communities that will see some gusty winds, maybe up to 50 miles per hour. As you go back into Washtenaw County, we'll see some heavy winds and heavy rain also impacting us into Chelsea, eventually in Ann Arbor. And this line will impact all of Metro Detroit as we go into the evening hours. We're going to be tracking this on Exact Track 4D radar and give you the latest updates as necessary. Ty, Kimberly?
Okay, Ron, thank you. Our other top story tonight, the problems at the Jefferson apartment complex just don't seem to be going away.
We showed you earlier this week how some apartments were hotter than 90 degrees inside. Management said they were fixing the problem, but it's still a problem for many who live there. Jay Scott Smith went back to the complex today to check on the progress. Jay, has any progress been made?
Well, good evening, Ty and Kim, and good evening, everybody. And we're back out here. We were here earlier this week, right here at the Jefferson, the former Jeffersonian, where this building currently has been plagued with issues of broken air conditioning and broken elevators, and it's a part of a pattern that has gone on for nearly a decade.
How hot is it in that building right now?
I've heard some people say that their apartment is as high as like 95 to 100 degrees. Mine is about 90.
That was a conversation I had with a resident at the Jefferson Apartments on Tuesday. She was the only one willing to go on camera, doing so under concealment out of fear of retaliation from management. The air conditioning is the latest ongoing problem at the building, formerly known as the Jeffersonian, the once iconic 30-story high-rise along the Detroit River. And as the problem got worse, management opened up cooling stations on the 1st and 29th floors of the building, but that didn't help much.
And I guess they're helpful, but it doesn't help us sleep comfortably at night.
The 60-year-old building has been managed by Farmington Hills-based Friedman Real Estate since 2023. They've been managing the Jeffersonian on behalf of Fannie Mae, which took over the building in 2022, and the issues of disrepair have been a constant problem. Local 4 has covered the issues at the Jefferson for years.
I make sure I'm up early just in case I get up and the elevator doesn't work. So then I got to take 20 flights of stairs just to make sure I'm to work on time.
Poop was in your tub for 2 to 3 days?
Yes.
No!
The building that was once one of the jewels of the riverfront has been swamped with one problem after another, and the residents are fed up and tired of hiding.
Like the other issues going on in the building are annoying or inconvenient, but this is dangerous.
Now, after reaching out all week, we finally got a response from the property management company, Friedman, after paying them a visit in Farmington Hills earlier today. They wouldn't go on camera, but they did say in a statement that, quote, we've been working diligently, and as of today, 75% of the system has been restored to operation. Service efforts will be ongoing until the entire system is fully functional. We also encourage residents who've turned off their apartment air conditioners to restart it as soon as possible to help lower indoor air temperatures. Our maintenance team is conducting door-to-door visits to ensure that systems are set correctly and operating as intended. Now, I've spoken to a couple of the residents, including the one I talked to on Tuesday, and she said that while her air conditioning is starting to work, it's still 80 degrees in her apartment, and they also have not offered any concessions on things such as this month's rent. We are live in downtown Detroit. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
Old building, old problems, as they say. Understandable how frustrated these customers are. Jay, thanks for covering that. All right, now, 74 years, that's the minimum time a Romulus man will spend behind bars for a head-on crash that killed an Oakland County couple last year.
A judge handing down that sentence this morning to 37-year-old Angel Melendez-Ortiz. The crash happened on the Lodge in Southfield in January of 2024. Our Lauren Kostick is live with reaction from the victim's family today. Lauren.
Yeah, very emotional day for them, Kimberly and Ty. It was right here on the Lodge where that couple was killed more than a year ago now. The driver heading in the wrong direction, trying to escape police, leaving the couple's 6 children without their parents.
One sentence for the 2 second-degree homicides would be inappropriate in this instance.
The judge issuing a lengthy sentence Friday for Angel Melendez-Ortiz. He's the man charged with fleeing police and driving a stolen pickup truck the wrong way on the Lodge Freeway when he collided with another car. Inside was Ryan and Jen Ambrosio, parents of 6 from Farmington Hills.
He took a weapon, a car that he didn't even own and was legally forbidden from driving. And he ended the lives of my brother and sister-in-law and robbed their 6 children of the lives they should have had together as a family.
During the sentencing, family of the couple begging the judge for the maximum sentence.
I wish you could hear the children sobbing. I wish you could hear them crying out for their mom at night. I wish you could hear the baby ask for his daddy every single morning until one day he didn't.
Jen's father also speaking to the judge, sharing his grief.
I will suffer from this terrible crime for the rest of my life.
At the end, Melendez-Ortiz offering an apology read by his attorney.
Sincerely apologize for my actions. Words cannot express how much regret I feel.
And again, Melendez-Ortiz will spend more than 70 years in prison. It's also important to note the judge there, as you may have heard, issuing a consecutive sentence, meaning for the second-degree murder charge, the defendant there, he will have to serve that back to back. Live in Southfield, Lauren Kostick, Local 4.
All right, Lauren, thank you. President Trump says he is calling off trade talks with Canada. Here are live pictures of the Windsor skyline. The president's post on social media this afternoon says he is ending talks because of Canada's plan for a tax on U.S. technology. The digital services tax will hit companies like Amazon, Google, and Meta with a 3% levy on revenue from Canadian users, and it will apply retroactively, leaving U.S. companies with a $2 billion bill due by the end of the month.
A Supreme Court ruling today is putting limits on how far federal judges can go when ruling on cases with nationwide impact. This case centered on President Trump's executive order from his very first day in office on changing the interpretation of birthright citizenship, something guaranteed in the Constitution. NBC's Ryan Nobles breaks down the ruling.
The Supreme Court handing President Trump a victory today, ruling on birthright citizenship, narrowing the scope of federal judges' decisions on nationwide cases.
An amazing decision, one that we're very happy about.
The president signed an executive order calling for an end to birthright citizenship as we know it on his first day in office. But federal judges blocked that order nationwide. The Trump administration argued those judges didn't have the authority to rule for the entire country.
The Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch.
The Constitution's 14th Amendment reads that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. The president wants to adopt a completely new meaning of the language, giving citizenship to people born in this country only if one of their parents is a citizen or a permanent resident. All of this part of his hardline immigration policy. The High Court's ruling prompting swift reactions from the plaintiffs who sued to block the president's executive order, now vowing to fight.
Announce our intention to file a class action lawsuit to preserve and defend the constitutional rights of all children born to immigrants in this country.
The court was divided on ideological lines on the issue, with conservatives in the majority and liberals in dissent. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote that the decision was, quote, an existential threat to the rule of law. And here on Capitol Hill, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said that he will continue to fight to protect birthright citizenship. Meanwhile, President Trump can now turn his attention to his big, beautiful bill, which includes funding for his immigration agenda. Ryan Nobles, NBC News, Washington.
And the High Court also upheld a Texas law requiring adult websites to prove users are older than 18.
Once again, birdies are the name of the game on day 2 of the Rocket Classic.
Today, Jake Knapp had 9 of them on his way to breaking the course record. Let's get out to Joel Sebastianelli. He's live at Detroit Golf Club for us tonight. Hi, Joel.
Hey, everybody. Look, Joe Hooks may not have had as many birdies as the others, but he is without a doubt the name the biggest crowd out here at Detroit Golf Club knew more than anybody else. He basically grew up on this court with his, or at this club with his parents' encouragement, and he's made this walk from the clubhouse thousands of times. Shot a 76 today, so he's not going to be playing the weekend at 4 over. Instead, when he got to the back 9, all these emotions hit him all at once, including gratitude. He's so thankful to be here with the biggest gallery of all. And so even though he won't make the cut, the Wayne State alum and UD Jesuit grad is going to cherish this long after this weekend.
It's still incredible to be out here playing in front of everybody that cares so much about my success, and you know, I'll be all right. All the love and support is incredible, but it definitely was a lot, you know, and it's I started to really feel it in that, you know, getting to, as I approached the back 9 today, just, you know, just emotionally, just like depleted. I could have managed myself, managed my shots a little bit better, and you know, but it's all good, man. I'm happy to be representing, and I wish I could have represented a little bit better, but, and you know, been playing on the weekend, but I'll be playing on the weekend soon.
Nothing but pride from his parents, too. Talked to his dad, James, and he said he had people he hadn't spoken to since he was a member decades ago coming up to him, reintroducing himself and rooting for his son. So just imagine that pride as you watch your son walk off of the 18th green. So much of that to go around today for the Hooks family, but everybody chasing a trio of leaders at 14 under. We'll get into more of those highlights coming up later in sports. But for now, at the Rocket Classic, Joel Sebastianelli, local.
Really amazing story. Joel, we appreciate it so much, and we'll check back in with you a little bit later in the broadcast.